All right. Hello and welcome everyone back to the Collective Minds podcast. So apparently there's a lot of hacking going on here, cyber attacks and cyber attack propaganda all being pushed at the same exact time. So, all right. Hello and welcome everyone back to the Collective Minds podcast. So apparently there's a lot of this article right here. China affiliated hackers hit critical U.S. infrastructure. Says hacking groups affiliated with China have targeted critical infrastructure assets in the U.S., including utilities, communications, and transport. The attack is seen as a part of China's Volt Typhoon cyber campaign, which the U.S. government has observed for around a year now. Hackers affiliated with the Chinese People's Liberation Army have allegedly intruded into the computer systems of dozens of critical infrastructure units of the United States government. These include water and power utilities, oil and gas pipelines, and transportation and communication entities. It is speculated that this is part of a broader effort by the PLA to hit logistics targets in terms of a U.S.-China conflict in the Pacific region. So I don't know how they can just continue to do this, or they're not being stopped at least. Or, I don't know. But we're letting them play practice on taking us out here, is what I'm getting from this. Both China and the U.S. have blamed each other for years on cyber attacks. The latest series of alleged attacks from the Chinese have been referred to as the Volt Typhoon campaign. Key victims of the campaign include a port on the West Coast, water utility systems in Hawaii, a critical oil and gas pipeline, and a Texas power grid operator. So just like a couple years ago when the Texas power grid kind of collapsed there during winter, people started freezing to death. That kind of thing. Critical oil and gas pipeline, they take that out. All of a sudden, there's no oil and gas. And the people we buy it from now, instead of getting our own, are our enemies. And then the water utility systems in Hawaii, if those go out, Hawaii's screwed. Says so far, such intrusions have not caused any disruptions. However, the attack on systems in Hawaii has been suggested to aim at potential disruptions to the operations of the Pacific Fleet. The hackers running the Volt Typhoon campaign have stolen employee credentials with backdoor entries and have used arbitrary home and workplace routers to hide their attacks. It says the attacks have been active since 2021 and have affected multiple sectors, including manufacturing, education, communications, information technology, utilities, construction, and more. The U.S. government has been working on mitigation strategies with tech companies in the private sector. This includes actions such as more stringent monitoring, improvements to authentication methods, and large-scale password resets, among others. Authentication methods. This is far from the first cyber attack that has come from nation-state actors. Active PLA hacking groups have attacked entities in Canada and Guam, among others. The issue highlights the rapid growing use of cyber attacks in warfare and geopolitics by countries worldwide, and the need for governments to set up appropriate international mechanisms to deal with an increasingly precarious situation. Do you think geopolitics impacts digital threats in the tech industry? Let us know your thoughts. Blah, 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 blah. So this comes out just a little bit ago. That's December 12th. So right at the same time about the time this movie just came out right here. It's called Leave the World Behind. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. And it was produced or created by Obama. Let's see what Wiki says about it. Let's see. Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke, and Kevin Bacon. Let's see, it says Amanda Sanford. Here's the plot. She wakes up one day and decides to take her family for an unplanned vacation to an Airbnb house on Long Island. Her husband, professor, and 2 children. While shopping at a grocery store, sees a bearded man. They realize 4 new alerts on her phone, 2 about the blackouts, 1 warning about hackers being responsible for what is happening, and 1 written in numbers and symbols. Rose watches a much larger group of deer. So this is kind of just breaking it. So if you haven't seen it, pretty much it's about a blackout from hackers. A whole countrywide blackout. And the whole movie, they don't know what's going on. but weird things start happening. Airplanes fall out of the sky. I mean, it's war. And they're getting different flyers dropped on them by different countries, different people, different kinds of terrorists, enemies of ours. So it's crazy. But yeah, that came out, and it was made by Obama. Let's see if we can find that real quick just to cover that. Let's roll. Let's go to this roll. Barack and Michelle Obama, Barack and Big Mike Obama have executive produced the film adaptation through their company Higher Grounds deal with Netflix. Their first foray into scripted drama, as director Sam Esmail revealed in a recent interview with Vanity Fair. The former POTUS also had valuable input into the content of the script, offering his real-life expertise on how a widespread crisis scenario might actually occur. Probably because the dude has been trying to destroy this country for a very, very long time. Alright, on to the next topic here. Apparently, Rumble is under attack. And our good old boys BitChute is trying to help them out here. So yeah, Rumble's under cyber attacks right now. As BitChute, a leading alternative video hosting platform dedicated to free speech, user privacy, and viewpoint neutrality, stands firmly alongside Rumble in the face of recent cyber attacks. These attacks followed the GOP-controlled Committee on House Administration's Subcommittee on Oversight's release on a dedicated Rumble channel. So it's political. That's what Rumble's calling it too, is political. Of over 40 hours of security video footage taken at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. This is their biggest no-no. This is like the next Pizzagate. They gotta cover this, but they can't. It's gonna come out. And they can't ban it. It's not a taboo subject. That's the thing. On December 7th, the committee established a channel and released the first batch of footage. And just 4 days later, Rumble experienced a substantial site-wide cyber attack. Although the precise source and nature of the attack remain uncertain, the timing raises suspicions, particularly considering the controversial nature of the footage, released nearly 3 years after the events at the Capitol. Said another limited outage occurred last week during the live stream of the 4th GOP debate, just as Vivek Ramaswamy began answering a question regarding the immunity from legal liability enjoyed by the manufacturers of Warp Speed COVID death shots. It is not yet clear whether the two outages are related. Well, I would guess that if one person had the capability to take out Rumble with an outage, it'd probably... I mean, not everyone can do it, so it'd probably be the same people doing it again. These cyber attacks on Rumble are just the latest example of the lengths to which the intellectually bankrupt will go to silence those who contradict their narrative. Apparently, they are incapable of answering their critics and challengers by means of cogent argument. She continued, the 2024 election season is just warming up. Those of us who still care about discovering and speaking the truth must remain vigilant in safeguarding open discourse on platforms where all voices, regardless of their controversial nature, can find expression. So, BitChute extends its unwavering support to Rumble, also offers to host any and all January 6th related footage on a dedicated BitChute channel. So BitChute's standing up with them going, hey, if you guys can't do it, you can try over here and see if they attack us as well. Yeah, just a coincidence that Chinese hackers are openly admitting to hacking the U.S. government. The U.S. government's admitting it. And then, Barack Obama releases a movie about it right around the exact same time that Rumble starts getting attacked for political reasons. Very interesting. Let us know what you think.